Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Simplicity Made Simple. I'm showing up a little bit late today. Sorry, I lost track of time. But today I want to encourage you guys in the midst of this holiday season and give you some practical tips for how to navigate all the food, specifically holiday cooking and baking, because I know it can be really challenging to feel pressured to make everything from scratch for all the get-togethers that you're going to and to make really impressive things that everyone will love. But let's face it, that's kind of unrealistic, you guys. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I'm actually a pretty positive person. But if we set realistic expectations that, we don't have to make things that every single person is going to love, and we don't have to make everything from scratch, and we don't have to provide a ton of food for all the different get-togethers, and we don't have to provide different things for each get-together that we go to. If we have those expectations in place, then we just take a lot of the stress off of our own shoulders and we can actually enjoy the process because there's less stress and less pressure. Does that sound good? Okay, so I'm going to be talking more about this topic for next week, the last week in the Cheerful Cherished Christmas Challenge. So if you want more and if you want specific recipe ideas, make sure that you sign up for that. I will put the link for that in the comments because I think that would be super helpful for you guys. I know it's helpful for me to have actual recommendations, actual recipes to look at instead of these ideas that just kind of float around and, kind of go in one ear and out the other. So make sure that you sign up for that if you want even more tips and if you want those actual recipe recommendations. But essentially what you want to do is, again, just have more realistic expectations. Simplify things. You can make less food for each get-together. You can go to fewer get-togethers to begin with. You can bake cookies for fewer people. Chances are your coworkers, your neighbors, your mail carrier, your dog sitter, your babysitter, those people, while they probably appreciate getting cookies or treats of some sort, they don't need them. They are probably being inundated with sweet things like most of us are in this season, and they don't require that from you. They won't. They want, your appreciation and your joy and your thanks, but it doesn't have to come in the form of a baked good. So consider that as well. You do not have to make food for all of them. And if you and, your neighbors or your coworkers decide that you're not all going to exchange cookies with each other, then it also makes it easier for you guys to observe some greater balance health-wise, because that's a really big challenge during this season, right? We're all eating tons and tons of sweets and not feeling so great about it. But that's just kind of a side note. So consider baking for fewer people and bringing food to fewer gatherings or bringing simpler food. It doesn't have to be fancy, you guys. And it doesn't have to be made from scratch. It doesn't even have to be homemade at all. You can pick something up from the store and bring it if that's less stressful for you. And a lot of the goal here is to simplify things and remove the stress, because your people want to be around you. They want to enjoy your company and your conversation, and that is so much more of a gift than any tangible thing that you could bring. And your people don't want you to be stressed about it. They don't want you to feel pressured to impress them. It's about connection, not impression. So just bring whatever you have to offer. If that's homemade, semi-homemade, or store-bought, that's totally okay. And then consider making the same thing for more than one get-together, because that can also simplify the process. So if you make a larger batch of something so that you can bring it on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, or New Year's Eve and Christmas, or to, a work party and a family party. However you want to do it, it can really just bring the stress level down if you just make a larger batch of something, or if you make something more than once, because then it's just one list of ingredients, one process, and it's a lot more comfortable than trying to juggle 12 different recipes, especially if they're things that you haven't made before. So just consider those tips. I hope those help you. And I just hope that you remember, again, that it's about connection, not impression. You don't have to try to please everybody. It's just about bringing something to the table, whatever it is that you have to bring, and knowing that your people really just want you. They don't care too much what you bring with you. So remember that, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Okay, guys, I will talk to you again soon. Bye.